couple quick things. I don't know if the board knows or not. Did you ever let the board know that the Public Access Counselor's Office was investigating the meeting minutes that were not approved? So the board does know about it. And then did you respond in time to the 7-day?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so I'm just waiting for
I
their
haven't gotten a response from them either.
response. Okay, one of the other things that I thought important was the South Suburban Joint Action Water Agency issue. Even last week, it being any new news and then nope, and that being the only update is entirely intolerable at this point, and I hope the entire board will join me in that position, including you, Mayor Ryback. September 10th, 2014 is when we demanded to be out of it, and any notion that any pennies, let alone nickels and dimes, that they're accruing right now, even with these meetings that they call Killily 2, let alone any other suggestions of our insurance policy or any of these things, is beyond the absurd, and I have yet to really hear this board discuss what exactly we're going to do to extract ourselves from this, whether it's dissolved or not. I think is irrelevant at this point, and it needs to be more frequently on the agenda, brought up and discussed and stayed ahead of. And then the third thing that I'm curious, what is the status on the $88,000 that needs to be reimbursed to the village? What are the plans in place to go ahead and put that money back into the actual bank accounts, not the bond account, but the actual bank accounts? Because every day that goes by that we don't have that, that's copies of the Tartan Tidings that could have already been sent out, you know, among even other items. What's the plan at this point to go ahead and get that reimbursement taken care of?
The board really has not discussed the reimbursement of that or any of the other misappropriated bond money, so we will be working on putting all the monies back very shortly, I'm sure.
Well, but one of them came from DART's office saying that it had to specifically be reimbursed rather than it being commingled with the issue of Crow-Horwath's audit, which quite frankly is questionable at best to begin with. So what are your specific plans to replace the $88,000 that you misappropriated and spent without board authority? Are you trying to pursue grants, for example? I mean, have you been asking to borrow money from people? What are we looking at here for a solution from you?
Well, we were issued a grant that went on hold, so I'm assuming once the state relinquishes and gets their act together that the grant money will be available again.
The grant was never released from the state, ever. There's two separate contracts. You only did the work in progress. The actual contract was never, ever approved. So there was
I've been reassured by my grant writer and the issuer who offered it to us, Senator Harris, that those monies are still
This isn't
coming.
Senator Harris's grant with the fire hydrants. This is the grant money that was supposed to come from Bill Davis.
Oh, Will Davis, yes, I'm sorry.
Because there are two separate ones,
Yes.
and Napoleon Harris's, some of it was released, yes,
Yes.
but not with Representative Davis's grant. That was never approved, and you're giving us reassurances from others. Doesn't cut it at all, kind of thing. This is one of those things you should be very unsettled to begin with and should be pounding down doors at this point to get the money in the door. And no matter what the state gives you as a reason, it should be intolerable for you if you still believe that the grant money is what's supposed to be covering that $88,000 loss.
I appreciate your comments, Val.
Okay.